Tears of the Kingdom Tips and Tricks. Today we're starting at the Rasawak Shrine in the Akkala Sea, and we're going to start by entering this cave. It's going to get us to the Lomei Labyrinths in the ocean by the Akkala Sea. First thing you want to do is enter this cave. It's called the North Akkala Beach Cave. There's lots of stuff to grab in this cave, minerals, bright bloom seeds, etc., but there's also some enemies. Go ahead and defeat those enemies. You're going to want to go through this water section over here before continuing through the cave. In the water section, you can find fairies, which are going to be helpful in the trials to come. Through the cave, and you'll eventually run into a few more of our Horriblin friends, defeat them, and continue on. Even further in the cave, there's a stone-like lake. Remember, you need to explode the stone armor off the like so that you can continue to fight it. Make sure you defeat it, and you can grab a decent shield here if you don't have a stronger one. Continue through the cave, grabbing as many of the items as you can, and you're eventually going to come to this section, which contains a black Hinox. Hinoxes are pretty difficult to defeat, but if you're able to aim for their eyes, you can get them. They only have one eye. When you defeat it, it's going to drop a bunch of stuff. You want to take that stuff. Afterwards, keep going through the chamber, and you'll eventually arrive underneath the labyrinth. You can ascend into it. And you'll pop up in this chamber here. This is basically the basement of the labyrinth. And there is a chest in the center that you might want to open. When you get close to the chest, those little Ganondorf hands are going to show up in front of you. If you're like me and you don't feel prepared to fight the Ganondorf hands, I suggest hitting it with a Dazzle Fruit and running away. Dazzle Fruits stun these hands and make it so they don't move for a while, so you can run and make an escape. Run over to one of the lower hanging pillars and you can ascend through it up into the labyrinth proper. Just retracing your steps and getting to the front of the labyrinth, and from there you can follow the trail of seeds left by the researcher who got here before you. Just like in the last one, he's got some nuts and acorns that he's going to use to mark his path. They're going to take you directly to the center of the maze, so you should follow these nuts. If you follow the nuts, you'll eventually find some treasure chests and get yourself to the center of the room. First things first, you should activate the dragon circle. When you activate the dragon circle, he will unlock a door on the Sky Labyrinth, meaning you can now do that section of the maze. A shrine in that room, it's a Raru's blessing. Go on ahead, walk in, and get your prize. The blessing of this shrine is a large Zonai charge. Pretty cool. Afterwards, you're going to need to find a way to get up to the Sky Labyrinth. My method works pretty well. What you're going to want to do is scoot over, and you'll see that there's a small island floating near the Sky Labyrinth. You're going to want to get there. The closest sky view tower to that is the one in Akkala at Uluru Mountain. So you're going to want to fly to that sky view tower. Make sure you have some stamina food or potions available. You're not going to be able to make it there with 2 stamina wheels, so make sure you have something to restock it with. Go ahead and fly through the tower. And begin your journey to the small sky island you see right there in front of us. I have it marked with the red marker. Once you arrive, it's going to be a small circular platform with a bunch of Zonai devices on it, a small pond, and some fairies. Grab as many of the fairies as you can grab. I only managed to get one. There's also a treasure chest to my right currently on the screen that has a map for something within the depths. We'll go find that later. After getting the chest, you want to hop onto this already constructed Zonai device with batteries attached. You might also want to drop a travel medallion in case you goof on your fly over to the cube. Go ahead and hop on the device, and you're going to use it to fly up and over to the cube. This device will make it all the way there with the battery power attached to it, and then I had to use one large Zonai charge to make it all the way to the shrine. When you enter the shrine on the outside of the Sky Cube, it's going to be kind of like a race course. enter the shrine and jump onto one of the pre-made vehicles that they have for you sitting below. There's 2 to choose from. I picked the left one. All right. You're going to drive your car and you're going to jump to this middle platform. You do have to kind of jump to the right. Go through the lava and then continue on to the course. As you can see, I overcorrected here. And backing these things up isn't easy. Come on, Link. There we go. He hasn't gotten his driver's license yet. All right. Continue floating through. You can drive over these spikes. You can drive through these constructs. You can even drive through the lasers. It won't hurt you. The platform is just high enough that you won't be affected by the lasers. Continue going, and you're going to eventually run into this section where you have a construct here who's going to try to shoot you, and there's a wall with some bricks in the way. Just ram into the bricks, and you'll find there's a treasure chest in there. Go ahead and hop out. Come on, Link. There we go. Turn off the car. There we go. Good boy. All right, and you're going to want to open the chest. The chest holds another strong Zonite, mighty Zonite shield with 50 power. You can see I'm going to drop my Knight shield and continue on. Go ahead and smash that extra block so it's hard for your car to get through without it, and then hop back in your vehicle. After this, there's only a couple more jumps and you've made it. Make this jump and then go to the far path. On the far path is a construct. You're going to need to probably kill that construct as you get ready, because he's going to be shooting at you the whole time and it's kind of annoying. Go ahead and hop off and kill that construct. Don't let them bother you. They're pretty easy to get. They're basic level ones. After you collect his things, you need to come over to this section and attach some rockets to your vehicle. You can pick the one you already drove over here or the one they have set up for you. I chose my vehicle. Attach a couple rockets, you can hop onto your vehicle and you're going to be launched over the gap into the shrine. And then you're done with this one. Exit the shrine, you'll be in the Sky Labyrinth. To begin, you need to approach the dragon chamber, the dragon symbol, whatever, and activate the Sky Labyrinth. you're going to want to do is head straight back and float into this section, which has a treasure chest. The treasure chest has a big battery, which we can use later for other tasks. From here, I suggest going and planning out your route to the different terminals, as this is a little bit more complex of a maze. As you can see, there are two in the corner, and that's what they're going to look like on your map. So I'm going to mark those two corner ones, and then get started. To get to the first one, I'm just going to hop off the side here of this main platform. Remember, if you ever get stuck, you can drop and then reopen your chute to get new height in these mazes. Use the minimap to follow through and go towards your marking. In this case, for me, it's the red one. The slightly darker gray and darker brown are platforms you can land on if you run out of stamina. And here we go, we're at the first terminal. Once you activate the first terminal, you're going to need to do it again for the other three. You finally reach the last terminal, and I do suggest you go back to the beginning after each one. You'll create an updraft that'll send you up to the very top of the cube. At the top of the cube, you'll see a new activator has been created on the top of where that treasure chest was. Go there to activate the last part of the Labyrinth challenge. Once you activate the ring, it's going to prompt you to dive off of the cube into the depths below. Go ahead and jump off, and dive using the floating debris as a target to get you to where you need to go. The depths, come down the stairs at where you'll find some Poes. Collect those because they're useful, And then, as you could see when we were coming down the stairs, there's a little section over there that you can fall into. There's a chest down there that you can go get before taking on the final part of this challenge. Alright, the final challenge is, once again, a Flux Construct 3. I suggest having full health when this begins, as these aren't exactly easy to beat. You're going to want to start by hitting the top green cube with an arrow. This will start the battle, which goes in roughly 3 phases. The first phase will have this giant monster man as your enemy. Defeating the monster man is not hard to do. You just need to use Ultra Hand to pull blocks off of it. I highly suggest you use Ultra Hand to remove the 2 blocks on its legs near the end, like this one, and the boxes that are its fists. If you remove those fist blocks, it can't hurt you. If you remove enough blocks from this thing, eventually it'll fall apart. It loses its integrity. So use Ultra Hand to remove, at this case, 5 blocks. It'll fall apart, and then you can jump down and whack its head. Make sure you use your strongest item for this. Once you have defeated it, in quotes, in that phase, it'll become a floating cube box. At this point, you can climb up on that nice little platform that's there and shoot its head from above. This is a lot easier to do than in the previous one I completed, where you didn't have a platform to shoot from. My suggestion is wait till it to get close to the platform, shoot its face, and then glide over so you can hit it with your melee weapon. You're going to do more damage this way, and it's just easier. If you hit it enough, the whole thing will fall apart, and then you can continue to hit it on the ground, dealing more damage. After the floating phase, the Flux Construct will reorganize itself as a cube. The cube is pretty hard to hit, so I suggest coming up onto this platform and it'll return to the Monster Man. You could try to hit its head with an arrow, but they flip pretty quickly, so I highly suggest you switch to Ultra Hand and just start yanking cubes off again. If you do this enough, it might turn back into the floating thing, which honestly is the easiest part to hit. So once again, let it float near you and then hit it with an arrow. Eventually, you'll whittle it down to almost no hit points, and you can whack it and kill it. When you kill it, the dragon circle will activate, allowing you to complete the area. The Flux Construct 3 does have a lot of rewards, so you should pick those up, and you should definitely attach its core to a weapon you have. I'm going to choose this gnarled long stick. Using Fuse, I'll attach it, and as you can see, I get plus 32 for attaching that core. Afterwards, I'm going to activate the circle, which is going to reveal to me the reward for all of this labyrinthing. The reward is a set of armor, which increases stealth. The last labyrinth cube I did also gave me stealth armor, so this is part of a set. Way out of the cube, you are going to run into some more Poes, which you should collect. And then when you finally get to the top of the cube in the depths, there's going to be a treasure chest for you. That treasure chest is going to have a very strong attacking item, so you should make sure to grab it. There it is. Open the chest, and you'll receive the Soldier 4 blade, a power 49 fused weapon. Make sure you grab that, because that's going to come in handy later. Afterwards, you're going to want to walk around the chimney you fell through to get here. On the other side of the chimney is a light route. You want to go activate that light route. And once you do, you're going to realize that this part of the depths is a sealed off square. You can't really go anywhere from here. But before we leave, there's a few more things we can do. On the side of the cube, there are 2 platforms near the water level. Each of these has an item in it. You should collect those before leaving. Thank you so much for watching, and best of luck labyrinthing in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. See you next time.